So before I start, I had like an internal conflict of how I should start my introduction. Should I introduce like my own ethnic background being native, or do I not? And it was tough not because I'm not proud of my heritage, but that I'm not talking about my own heritage. Talking about Inuit people, and I myself is Chiricahua. And about an hour ago, I decided that I should introduce it because I didn't feel like I should talk about another people without other people knowing my own story. And so, my name is Sanchez. I am of the Chiricahua Nation. Others call us Apache, but we call ourselves the Nde, meaning the people. The same word for the Inuit, meaning the people. And my presentation is on the ice sheets, culture, traditions, and food, sovereignty, the risk and response of a sovereign nation. And I wanted to start with like limitations on my project. It's really difficult to talk about the Inuit because Inuit people would never call themselves Inuit. It's a very broad, vast term that covers people from Greenland, Canada, and Alaska. But I'm using it because I want to show effects of a culture over a great expanse of area. But I will try to be as specific as possible when it is appropriate. And so I'm going to be talking about traditions, stories, education, culture, weather forecasting and travel, food sovereignty. I'm going to look at some elders' accounts of what has changed. And then this is an environmental justice section, and so I'm going to be talking about relocation and actions that people from the Arctic have already taken. And so first, climate change and Inuit traditions. And so we've heard a lot about how stories are changing in the Arctic. And in a lot of ways that's good, in a lot of ways it's bad. Stories have been evolving and changing to adapt to the new environments, but it's also changing how the culture is educating their children, and it's causing a loss of place for the people. And so I wanted to quote Sheila Watt-Cloutier, who says, "The hunting culture that I come from is not only about the pursuit of animals and the technical aspect of a hunt. Hunting is, in reality, a powerful process where we prepare our young for the challenges and opportunities, not only for survival on the land and ice, but for life itself. The character skills learned on the hunt of patience, boldness, tenacity, focus, courage, sound judgment, and wisdom are very transferable to the modern world that has come so quickly to the Arctic world." Due to this change and not being able to educate the children in the way that is so important to the people, there's been a loss of identity in place. The Inuits and Arctic people have actually, in Alaska, has had one of the highest amounts of suicide rates in the country. And a lot of people from the Arctic feel that they don't know that it is, that they're losing how to live where they're at, and they don't know how to associate themselves for where they are. And so I want to use the term that Sheila Watt-Cloutier says called sila. And sila means the elements or weather, but it also means the mind or intelligence. And it is understood to be the fundamental principle underlying the natural world. Sila is manifest in each and every person. It is an all-pervading, life-giving force, the natural order, a universe, consciousness, and a breath soul. Sila connects a person with the rhythms of the universe, integrating the self with the natural world. As Sila links the individual and the environment, a person who lacks Sila is said to be separated from an essential relationship with the environment that is necessary for human well-being. But it's more than just traditions or culture, it's also traditions. And so I want to something that's said is the earth is faster now. And it's an elder's account. Her name is Maybelle Tooling. It's an auntie of the president of the Alaska Eskimo Walrus Commission. And it's not that the earth is, she knows that the earth isn't actually moving faster now, but it's that they can't predict what's happening like they once used to. Patricia Cochran talks about like the melting and the freezing in just one day. That would happen in a span of a year before, and due to climate change, it's happening so rapidly that it's hard to comprehend the time span and how to look forward anymore. Traveling has become more dangerous as a cause of that. Weather is more unpredictable, and freezing and melts happen too quickly. There's risks of falling in. And traditional tools to navigate. One tool that I will use as an example is grass will be blown over by wind and freeze in the way that the wind is in a direction, and they're able to look at that. Wind coming from the southwest, I believe. And so they know what way they're heading in that way. But since it's warming, it's not freezing. Traditional routes are changing. Here you can see what the Iqaluit. There's 6 traditional paths, and of those, only one is able still to be used. Glaciers are melting, getting rid of a lot of their old hunting grounds and routes for safety. Some of the elders' accounts of what is happening. Seals, for instance, pups are getting scratched up because of ice, and it's making it harder for the seals to survive. Something that's really important to the culture. Caribou, the meat is getting white spots, and the liver is getting the white spots, and the female elders say that it doesn't taste as well. Whales are becoming more sparse. And it takes a lot of ice to actually bring a whale up onto the ice, which is making it more dangerous to hunt. And then this is something that I cannot believe, but berry leaves are burning and like destroying the vegetation. And I still see so much ice there that I don't understand it. But there is a lot of stuff happening. From the very beginning, Inuit people have been very politically active. They've worked on agreements with the Canadian, Alaskan, and Greenland governments. In 2005, they did a petition to the IACHR, which is the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. They said that by destroying their ability to practice their culture, their traditions, being able to have a sustenance living, and all the other effects on climate change, that America, through omissions, is causing a human rights violation. While they weren't able to get a human rights violation, what they did do is they created a movement and a progress in that people are thinking about climate change as a human rights violation now. And then another thing that has and will be happening in the future is climate change is causing forced relocation. And there's a way not to do it and a way to do it. In the past is, and what is being built now or was built, called the Arctic Exile Monument Project. And it's both a memorial and a remembrance of what climate is doing to the Arctic people. In this instance, people were forced to move from their living, or where they lived, and farther north. The government promised more sustenance living and that they would aid in the movement. That didn't happen. They had a lack of caribou skin to keep them warm. They didn't know the paths or the areas, and they weren't able to hunt. And there was no government support to help them out through the transition. But there is ways that can be more meaningful to the people. Through self-governments, self-determination, and self-relocation, there are ways that the government-to-government relations can work so that a place is found that people are able to have sustenance living and protect their culture and their ways. And thank you very much.